Did you know that one day a man, blinded by anger and jealousy, spat in the Buddha's face? But the Buddha's response was so calm and surprising that it left everyone speechless. Listen to this story until the end. It will give you a life lesson that can truly change you from within. It is said that one morning, as the sunlight filtered through the leaves of a great tree, the Buddha was sitting with his disciples. He spoke in a gentle voice about the art of observing the mind, creating inner peace, and not being disturbed by storms, whether inside or outside. Suddenly, a man, clearly full of anger and jealousy, approached without warning and spat directly in the Buddha's face. The disciples flinched. Some were ready to react, to rise in defense. But the Buddha did not react. He simply calmly wiped his face. Then he looked at the man and, in a calm and fully present voice, asked, "Do you have anything else to say, my friend?" The man was stunned. He had expected a reaction, but the Buddha's calmness struck him more than 1,000 insults. The disciples protested, "Master, this man spat in your face, and you ask him if he wants to say more?" The Buddha simply replied that he was not offended, because he had not taken that hatred upon himself. The man had spat not on him, but on an idea, a prejudice, an image the man had created in his mind. The man went home shaken. That night he could not sleep. He kept replaying the scene, his violent act, and the Buddha's lack of reaction. For the first time, he realized how great his own misery was and how small his heart had been. The next morning, he returned to the Buddha, trembling with shame and humility. He bowed and said, "Forgive me, Master. I committed a terrible mistake yesterday." The Buddha observed him gently. "Mistake? What mistake, my friend?" The man stammered, Because I spat in your face yesterday." The Buddha nodded. "Yes, it was a mistake, but not for the reason you think. The spit meant nothing. It happened, and it is already past. The real mistake is that you continue to carry it in your mind. Yesterday's act died yesterday, but you, today, are still feeding it." The man began to cry, overwhelmed by remorse. "Please, forgive me." The Buddha then said, "I have nothing to forgive, my friend. The man who spat on me yesterday no longer exists. He was a different man, driven by ignorance and anger. You, however, are another man, the one who came here today with humility and repentance. So tell me, who should I forgive? The man from yesterday, who no longer exists, or you, who never spat?" The man silently collapsed at the Buddha's feet. Those words melted him like snow in the sun. Tears fell, and inside him, jealousy, anger, and rage lost their power. In that act of humility and acknowledgement of his mistake, he found peace. He decided to leave his life of resentment and jealousy behind and become a disciple of the Buddha. This story teaches a principle present in the Buddha's teachings: non-reactivity, responding to offenses with calm awareness, not with anger or revenge, is active wisdom. It does not mean indifference, but mindful presence. Accepting provocation is like taking a poisoned gift. If you refuse it, it returns to the one who offered it. The story teaches that not reacting is not weakness, but strength. It preserves inner peace and prevents a cycle of provocation, hatred, and revenge, a cycle that usually only creates more suffering.